Good afternoon, Dr. Cooper. This is Jed Davis. So, I second take. I'm learning more about this screen grab again as I go, um, and I realized I'd done a few things out of order the first time I tried. The first thing that I was going to do with this is I uh, I found myself as I was going back and forth between these trying to do it the first time was that I started getting confused on which one was which because the names were uh, getting to me, and so I'm going to change the names real quick. And so this to me was student attendance, but it was two different sheets. So that's in my mind. That way I can keep it separate. It's got the females on one sheet and the guys on one sheet. And then this one I'm going to leave the same because it's already combined as one sheet. So I just wanted you to know. And one of the things that I said in the one that I deleted was I wasn't exactly sure, other than like showing you that I can use Excel and showing you that I can make the histogram and make some of those changes. I didn't think you wanted us to do every single step the way you did because I figured that would take 30 or 45 minutes for each person and you didn't want to watch all that. So I was just going to show you what we could do. So the first thing, I've got my female and males. I'm going to combine two sheets. Uh, sorry, I'm not going to. And so I've got my two different sheets, the males and the females here, and that's what I'm going to combine. I'm going to do all of the stuff. And so I want to paste all of it. I don't want to just do the values. I want the words and everything. And I don't want a whole new workbook. I want it to be a new worksheet down here. So I'm going to leave that like that. And here it is down here at the bottom. I'm going to rename that real quick. Student attendance combined. All right, so I think that takes care of the first thing that you wanted us to do. The next thing, merge two tables here. Okay, so this took the table that I had already combined, and then, so now, like when I look at this one, I can combine it with something different. So student attendance, click all of them. I want all of them to go ahead. Okay, and this is where we were going to get the colors, where when it showed us the differences. So now it's got the additional one where it's matching. And here's where I've combined it. So I think that is what you were wanting us to do with the two tables. So now I am going to, this is the one that's got both of them. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this one, save it. Yep. All right. So now the next thing, I do use Excel a lot. I don't think I'm a master or a genius at it at all. I do know how to do some of the things you were talking about. And so one of the things that I like to do is make a copy, move it to the end, copy. And the reason I do this is because I personally, when I'm using Excel, I like to be able to go over here and I never know, usually when I'm dealing with data, I don't ever know what I want to look at first. And so I'll just make a copy. That way, if I mess something up, I can just delete it and, make something else. But for instance, I know you told us to get rid of a few things, but if I didn't want to do that, and I didn't know what I was looking at, I might highlight this and go to sort. I want to do the alpha, I'm going to do it alphabetically. And so I would do that. And that way, now if I want, I haven't messed up my original data if I wanted it to do that. And so now if somebody asked me for an alphabetical list, that's what I could do for them, or I could do that with my grade. And so just going to show you that that's how I've been using Excel in the past. I am excited to see the other stuff that's been going on with it. All right, so I'm going to go back to the way it was. And like you wanted us to do, I'm going to make another copy. Create a copy of this. Oh, sorry, created this one after that one. Okay. Rename it. And I'm on my laptop, and I had to insert a mouse so that I could do it, and it's finicky at best. Student attendance. Oh. All right, so now I'm going to start getting rid of the stuff that you told us to get rid of. Those. Date of birth. Instructional track. Total ineligible days. And then I'm going to wrap the text. And you know, this is something that just for me, some of this stuff I like to see, just makes it easier for me to see and read, and so I'll do that. And then I like to make this one a little bit bigger so it's easier to see. And for me, it just makes things a little, yeah, like for some reason that bothers me when there's only one thing there. I don't know, it doesn't bother everybody. And then I just don't like seeing that. That just looks better to me. So, all right. So I think I've got everything the way you wanted it. I got rid of the stuff, and now I have to start creating the histogram with the class limits and the bin and stuff like that. And I know you did it by the total days, and you told us we could do a bunch of different things. So I am going to add a sheet here. I'm going to do it by campus. And see, this is where I don't know how many campuses there are, and I'm afraid there might be a whole bunch. So I'm going to go to my copy, and I'm just going to sort it by this. Because then I can see real quickly, all right, there's that one, and there's that one. It just kind of helps me see that stuff a little bit easier. So, I'm going to take this. Paste. So I'm going to do the rest of that, and just so you can see that I know what I'm doing, or a little bit, not all the way. Man, there's a lot of kids at that high school. Scrolling down. Man. In Arkansas, we wouldn't have had that many at most of our schools. All right, so here's the next one. Luke Skywalker High School. Copy. Go to my new sheet. Paste it. All right, and I'm going to do the rest of those, but I'm going to go ahead and pause the video. You don't need to see me do the rest, I don't think. So go ahead and do that. This is the same thing that happened to me last time when I have a hard time, like I can't see the record and pause button. Now I can see the red, but as I move it around, there it is. All right, I'm going to make those other changes and I'll come back. Okay, got all the names of the schools copied. Didn't realize there were going to be 18 schools, but now I'm going to give them a value. And so and now I'm going to do the find and replace. And one of the things I did notice from your video is talking about how the spelling matters and capitalization and all that. There were two different Yoda elementary schools, but they had two different numbers, and so it was a good thing I paid attention, because if I just looked at Yoda Elementary, I wouldn't have noticed that. All right, so I'm going to show looked at this a minute ago. I don't think this is it. That is under home. Yeah, sorry about that. So now I'm going to copy that. And place with 1. So that was the first one done. Just to do it again without doing that, go to find and select. Find. Now I'm going to do a different one. Luke Skywalker. Oh. And place with 2. Place all. Boom. So I can see the ones that it's done, and I thought I saw 2 just a minute ago. I'm going to make this in the middle so it's easier for me to see the 2s. So there's a 2. So I'm going to pause the video while I do the rest of those so you don't have to watch me do that. Alright, so one of the things, so I finally got all the campuses done, gave them a number. Here's my code book, so you can see the schools. And I ran into an issue that I didn't foresee when I was going through it. These high schools had 2 different numbers, and so I had to give those numbers another value in our code book. So, but one of the things is we're going to do some sorting, and we're going to do a custom sort. My data has headers, and so I'm going to sort by campus first, and then I want to, so I could do a few different things. I'm going to do the total eligible days present, and so now I've got it by my campus. So this campus 1 was Leah something high school, and so there it is, all let's see how many we had here. Didn't realize I'd scrolled that far. All 1,600, and well, there'd be 64 of them. So that is my custom sort, like you had asked us to do. So, all right. I realize as I keep going that if I keep doing all the work while I'm talking to you, this thing will be forever. But I want you to show I want to show you that I did the min and max, and I did it for campus number 1, which if you look at my code book was the Leah High School. And so for this min and max, what I did is I hit the equal sign and min, and I just did all of G. So that showed you that of all the schools, the min was 0. And then down here for this min, I actually did the numbers just for campus 1. So the min was the same for both, but the max for the entire column of G was 170. The max for campus 1, though, was 112. So you can kind of see the difference as when I do the whole sheet compared to, or all the schools compared to just one of the schools. So that's the difference in the min and the max.